On Global News Express, NBA sacks Spider executives over suit against Musawa and IG. FG fights inflation as CBN mops up 5 trillion naira. And Ukraine wants Russia's frozen assets. And in sports, 358 athletes to represent Nigeria in 25 sports, says NOC. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express. On Global TV, we are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. Vice President Kashim Shettima has promised Nigerians that the federal government will deploy new strategies to fight armed banditry, kidnapping, and other security challenges in different parts of the country. The Vice President said this yesterday after he held a closed-door meeting with former President. Speaking after he emerged from the closed-door meeting with the former President, Shettima said the federal government would deploy all the resources and expertise needed to restore security and lasting peace to the affected areas. The Vice President, who was accompanied by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, and that of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, as well as former Imo State Governor, Senator Rochas Okorocha, also paid homage to the Emir of Daura, Umar Farouk Umar, at the palace in Daura. The federal government, through the Ministry of Works, has announced the plan to commence the repair of damaged expansion joints of the long bridge along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. According to a statement signed by the Federal Controller of Works, Lagos Olukorede Kesha, the repair would commence from 7 a.m. on Monday, March 4th to March 25th, 2024. Kesha and commuters said commuters living and entering Lagos through the Long Bridge will be narrowed to 2 lanes on both sides of the bridge to enable the contractor handling the repair works to commence works on the other 2 lanes of the carriageways. The national leadership of the party constituted the Edo Post-Primary Election Reconciliation Committee to reconcile the aggrieved aspirants and ensure they all work for the party's victory in the September 21st governorship election in the state. According to a statement issued by the PDP National Publicity Secretary in Abuja on Saturday, the committee will be chaired by the Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed. Olubunagba said the committee was constituted by the National Working Committee in pursuant to the provisions of the PDP Constitution and guidelines after its successful conduct of the Edo State governorship primary election of the party. The Nigerian Bar Association National Executive Council has ordered the immediate removal of the Executive Committee of this section on Public Interest and Development Law. The NEC accused the SPIDEL chairman, John Aikboko Martins, of engaging in activities that undermine the authority of the NBA president, Yakubu Meyaku, SAN, and the council. Noteworthy among the cases is a lawsuit seeking to stop the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, from implementing the Central Motor Information System for vehicle owners nationwide. Additionally, the SPIDEL, in another suit, asked the court to remove the Minister of Art, Culture and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, from the office, citing alleged violations of the National Youth Service Corps Act. Following the Strategic Forum on Achieving Safer Schools in Nigeria and the introduction of the Standard Operating Procedure Manual for the Safe School Project on August 9, 2023, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, has unveiled state-of-the-art security equipment, as well as commenced a training program for state coordinators of the Schools Protection Squad and selected divisional police officers nationwide. The police IG stated that the launch is in a bid to reinforce the program for viability in achieving the National Action Plan for School Protection. Kikelomo Okere has details.
As part of the mandate of the Nigerian Police Force to ensure the security of lives and properties in the country, the Inspector General of Police says the official unveiling and launch of the training program marks a significant step forward by the force in the commitment to safeguard the education system, children and young ones by fostering a secure and conducive learning environment across the country. The IGP emphasized his training program aimed to equip state coordinators and divisional police officers from all 36 states and the FCT with a comprehensive knowledge on the police role in the national plan for the school safe in Nigeria by facilitating the development of a strategic roadmap for the force collaboration with the various stakeholders to secure the children's learning environment while optimizing human and material resources of the force to tackle crimes, particularly those targeting education institutions.
This squad will operate in support of the Schools Protection Squad to ensure our educational facilities remain free from danger and unwelcome incidents. Recognizing that our success hinges on our ability to prevent and effectively respond to critical incidents, the police will continue to work harmoniously with all relevant security agencies and stakeholders, especially our host communities, to confront the challenge of school attacks head-on. It is essential that we strive to preserve the confidence and trust of the communities we serve.
The National Coordinator Financing Safe School, Alima Ilia, noted that the capacity of security personnel, school hosts communities, critical stakeholders, students and staff of schools will be built to help them all fit into the national plan itself and play their respective roles.
Also, the capacities of schools host communities and critical stakeholders, including local vigilantes, hunters groups, retired security personnel, traditional and religious leaders would also be integrated into the security architecture, precisely in the area of intelligence gathering, aimed at providing support in securing schools and peoples. Very importantly, the capacities of students and staff of schools will be built to help them fit into the plan itself and play their own role. Additionally, efforts will be made to create public awareness and attract public support for this noble cause.
The Inspector General of Police applauded the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning for spearheading the Financing Safe School National Plan and all who have contributed to reaching the current milestone in the program, noting that their invaluable efforts are vital to the country's progress, while tasking officers nominated for the capacity building training to leverage on the training to boost the effect of the School Protection Squad in their respective commands. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Tripartite Committee on the National Minimum Wage has called for the participation of stakeholders in proposing and implementing a new minimum wage for Nigerian workers. The chairman of the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, Ekpo Inte, in a statement said the committee would hold a public hearing on March 7. According to News Agency of Nigeria, the retired head of civil service of the Federation, Bukar Aji, is heading the committee inaugurated by Vice President Kashim Shettima. The committee's mandate is to consult all stakeholders on the issue of national minimum wage and consider the wage in context of the dynamics of the national economy. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have intercepted a 40-year-old businessman, Ejike Chibuke Solomon, with 1.45 kilograms of cocaine concealed in his luggage while attempting to board an Ethiopian airline flight number 950 to Vietnam via Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Following his arrest, NDLEA officers subjected him to a thorough search and, in the process, discovered the illicit substance was factory-fitted in his bag. Queen Agaba has the rest of the story.
In his statement, the suspect claimed he was on a business trip to Vietnam. Meanwhile, operatives of a special unit of the agency swooped on members of a syndicate that deals in methamphetamine, cocaine, and heroin in their hideouts in parts of Lagos. The operatives assigned for the operation raided the home of Esimone Amachuku Christopher at 14 Arochuku Street, Ejigbo, where 10.12 kilograms of methamphetamine was found in possession of his associate, 40-year-old Evelyn Neka Okem. Esimone is currently at large while the Ejigbo operation was going on. Another set of officers were simultaneously busy in the residence of another member of the syndicate, 45-year-old Ebele Edwin Iwegbunam, located at plot 1604 Close D, 4th Avenue, Festac Town, Lagos, where they arrested him and recovered 429.5 grams of cocaine and 7 kilograms of heroin. In Kogi State, NDLEA officers on a stop and search operation along Wokene Lokoja Abuja Expressway intercepted a commercial bus marked GRM 347XA, conveying 28 compressed blocks of cannabis sativa weighing 11 kg, 100 bottles of codeine-based cough syrup, and 500 tablets of diazepam, all concealed in 3 plastic drums covered with cattle fat, heading to Jos Plateau State. While operatives in Ogun State also recovered 169 kg consignment of cannabis abandoned in a truck at Shagamu Tollgate, their counterparts in Lagos seized 25 cartons of tramadol containing 325,000 pills in Ikeja. A suspect, Abdullahi Garba Khalil, 42, and 2,745,000 capsules of pregabalin recovered from him at Singer Market, Sabongari area of Kano, were handed over to the Kano State Command of NDLEA by the Department of State Security, DSS. Another raid was carried out at the abandoned Eyimba Hotel, Ogbo Hill, Aba, where illicit substances were seized and suspects arrested with the same zeal. The various commands of the agency across the country continued with the war against drug abuse advocacy campaign in the past week. Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Marwa, retired, applauds the special units and their counterparts in all the commands across the country for intensifying their WADA advocacy lectures, as well as outstanding feats in the past weeks. Queen Agaba reporting for Global Television.
You're watching News Express coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, federal government eyes 2.5 million barrels daily oil production. These and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. From the break, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Express. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, Ukraine urged the West on Monday to transfer control of confiscated Russian assets to Kiev so they could be used to rebuild the country and fund its recovery. Calls have been mounting in Washington and Europe to set up a fund for Ukraine. They are urged to use the billions of dollars in Russia bank accounts, investments, and other assets frozen by the West over Moscow's 2022 invasion. Ukraine has warned it desperately needs more military and financial assistance. This is just outside the first $60 billion package of U.S. aid remains stalled in Congress. Shamgal urged the Western countries to act quickly ahead of the elections and political changes that could disrupt the effort. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said last week there was a strong moral case for seizing the assets and giving them to Ukraine. A quick look at business. The National Association of Telecom Subscribers and NATCOMs has asked the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, to extend the deadline for blocking unlinked subscribers to March 31st, 2024. The NCC had directed all telecommunications operators to bar phone lines of unlinked subscribers from February 2024. The directive, effective February 28, 2024, is expected to affect over 42 million inactive phone numbers and 3 million active lines. Deolu Ogunbajo, president of the NATCOMs, said the initiative of the NCC to capture Nigerians is a step in the right direction due to the security reasons. He said the policy is a great way for the country to develop its database. He also pleaded with the Commission to ensure they extend the deadline to March 31st, 2024, so that every subscriber would be captured. Efforts by the federal government to curb the rising inflation will lead to 5 trillion naira cash mop-up from the banking industry as the Central Bank of Nigeria implements the hike in bank cash reserve ratio, CRR, to 45%. The CRR, which represents banks' cash reserves for purposes of meeting cash obligations on demand, was moved from 32.5% to 45% in apparent bid to curtail inflation. This is one of the outcomes of the virtual meeting tagged Foreign Portfolio Investors Call, organized in collaboration with the NGX Group, which was addressed by the CBN Governor, Olayemi Kadaso, the Deputy Governor, Economic Policy, Mohammed Abdullahi, and moderated by the Group Managing Director and CEO of the NGX Group, Temi Popola, while speaking at the meeting with the FPIs in response to inquiries about the impact of the hike on banking system liquidity. CBN Deputy Governor Abdullahi said that the banking system has a shortfall of 5 trillion naira to meet the 45% CRR. In sport, the Nigerian Olympic Committee said that Nigeria would be represented by no fewer than 358 athletes in 25 sports at the 13th African Games. The Public Relations Officer of the NOC, Tony Neziaya, stated this in a statement in Lagos. He says the Games would be held from March 8 to 23 in Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. According to the breakdown, Team Taekwondo, Wrestling, and Karate have the highest number of individual sport athletes, each having 14 athletes, while arm wrestling has 15 athletes. Weightlifting and badminton both have 12-member team, while boxing has 11 pugilists, judo 10, while Scrabble has 8 members. And to wrap it up, NBA Success Spider executives over suit against Musawa and IG. Federal government fights inflation as CBN mops up 5 trillion naira. On the foreign scene, Ukraine wants Russia's frozen asset. And in sport, 358 athletes to represent Nigeria in 25 sports, says the NOC. That's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching and see you again.